Welcome back, everyone. Let's get straight into our conversation for tonight. Joining me virtually as we discuss the life and times of late Edwin Clark and Ayo Adebanjo is Dr. J.K. Pele, CEO founder at TAF Africa. Good evening, Dr. Pele. Thank you very much for joining us on Politics Tonight.
Thank you, Jumoke. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for some time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's talk about these two elder statesmen. The death of Edwin Clark and Ayo Adebanjo have been described by President Bola Tinubu, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and many others as a monumental loss to the nation. I want you to speak to us about the impact of both men on the democratic landscape of Nigeria.
It's sad, but these two democracy icons have left big shoes that we don't think anyone will be able to occupy. Incidentally, both of them died back to back. Both of them, one was 97, one was 96. Both of them are nationalists. Both of them are statesmen like no other. Both of them believed in their cause and stood for what they believed. Both of them spoke truth to power. Both of them stood against people that they believe didn't do what they are expected. They are great Democrats that this country will miss dearly. I didn't get to meet Papa Adebanjo, but I met Edwin Clark. And I met Edwin Clark in such a situation that I'm beginning to say, did he know he was going to die? Was he speaking to me? Because I met him just end of November, going into December, you know. And he called me and said, just come over. I came, he said, allow him, let him come to my bedroom. I went to his bedroom, and then he began to say, you must continue to speak truth to power. You must stand for what is right. It was almost like handing over the baton, you know, and all that. And I'm not saying I am qualified to do what he has done or fit into his shoes, but I'm thinking about that, and it's very emotional. The only regret is that I promised him that I was going to come back to see him, and I never did. Right. I left, traveled abroad, and by the time I came back, it was December. So I was planning to go and see him in January. Then I traveled out of the country. So it was very emotional for me. But this is a man that everyone will regret his absence.
And interestingly, also, both men represent an era. But now that they've bowed out of the stage, do we still have men of such caliber who will stand for the truth and speak for the masses in our politics today?
They are. I would say, I can tell you for free, they are. They are. Whether we will be as bold and as forthright, I don't know, but there is no doubt that there are people, upcoming people in their fashion, you know. But these men are revered. I mean, take for instance Adebanjo, what he did for the Igbos, how he stood for the Igbos, you know, and you know he was sometimes critical of the current president, even though they are all both Yorubas, you know. So these are iconic men that it will take time for us to forget them.
Absolutely. And to add to that, Dr. Pele, though both men were regional leaders, I mean, Edwin Clark, for instance, representing the Jaw Nation and the Niger Delta, while Ayo Adebanjo represented the Yoruba Nation at Ferry. Their impacts spanned beyond their regions to the country as a whole. What does this say of the kind of training men of that era got that perhaps we are no longer seeing? And what can our current politicians and upcoming ones learn from their lives?
Well, there's a whole lot that anyone who is serious-minded, anyone who wants to truly and really defend democracy can do. Follow their lifestyle. They were selfless, they were fearless, they were compassionate, they were leaders of rare breed, you know, but at the same time, they are people of conviction, you know, and so these qualities are qualities that today, you know, many of us should imbibe, learn, practice, you know. I mean, look, I went to this man's house in Asokoro. His house is still old and looking dilapidated. And I'm talking about Edwin Clark. There was no fancy car, you know, and all that. He was living a very selfless life. There was nothing fancy about what his lifestyle, you know. It wasn't a fantastic house, even though it's very habitable and clean, you know. So these are some of the qualities. You will say that with all the things he was saying, I remember what he told me, how he never bothered meeting Fubara. He wasn't in a hurry to meet Fubara, but he defended Fubara. I mean, I went to his house. I saw with my eyes. If it's someone that maybe the politicians were collecting money from politicians and all that, I mean, people can give him gifts, he will accept. However, he wasn't, I didn't see a lifestyle that was ostentatious, that anybody can say, well, this person is benefiting from politicians who are feeding him with all kinds of money, you know. If they did, it was nothing to write home about, you know. So for me, you know, these are the kind of people that we should truly and really appreciate.
All right, Dr. Epele, you know, it's great to hear you speak about these iconic men, and we pray that your lives their souls rest in perfect peace. Thank you so much for joining us on the program tonight. Dr. Jake Epele, CEO, TAF Africa. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.